Uh-oh. There we go. All right, YouTube. We just jumping on for a few moments here, not for a long time, but for a good time. Checking in with y'all, seeing what y'all up to. Throwing some quick updates out there. Had a client reschedule, so I had a little bit of time in between to check in with you guys. I'll probably come back on tonight, but I am a little worn. It's been a very aggressive, active day. We really engaged with a lot of different things. So I don't know. I may come back on. I may just wait till later on in the week to check back in with you guys. But hey, hi all of you out there. God bless you all forever and ever. Latoya, Maria, Juanita, Tiana, Queenie, Imani, Donna, Jamil, Danny, of course. All of you guys out there, God bless you all. Wanted to say, had an awesome blast. At least I can speak personally. Saturday night, the 3rd, during our webinar, I have to say we, against all odds, we pulled it off. And from what I got, I can only tell you what I've heard. They could be lying. But there was tremendous feedback and nobody left wanting. So that was very encouraging as far as a litmus test of whether we should or how we can go about doing more and being more present with that kind of template. So I was very excited about that. Still getting feedback in about some of the things that people learned and, how it really edified them. Those of you who were a part of okay, I'm gonna need for you. Okay, sorry about that. Those who were a part of the webinar, I will get you out your reference material and so on before the end of this week. There's still something I need to type up and kind of organize a little bit, can get my thoughts organized, and then I can release that to you guys. Those of you who were not able to get with us live, but you still want that lesson, from my understanding, we can have that ready for you guys before the end of the month. Was kind of the best estimate I got, somewhere around 3 weeks or so. So what I will do is put a pre-order, right, option for you guys. You guys just want to go ahead and put your money in so that when it comes out, y'all can be immediately emailed with that information. So yeah, I hope you guys engaged your nation in some way or another today, whether you did it through the polls, whether you did it through having conversation, whether you did it through prayer, whether you did it through ritual, whatever your modality or method is to engage your nation. I do hope that you at least took this day to maximize that and capitalize off that. I did. Went to the polls and okay. So a quick question about Saint Cyprian. What's your history? I don't have a very long history working with him. I've been working with him for years. I think I'm probably going on about a year working with him. I'm in a couple of different forums with other occultists and magicians, and I begin to see him kind of pop up. I've heard about him years ago, kind of in passing. Never really took time to really investigate him. Knew that he was a master magus, all right, and that he retained that even after being Christianized. So that was something that was very interesting to me, right? That he didn't give up his spiritual modalities when he was Christianized. And so, as I was saying, I was in a couple of forums, and I began to notice that one particular individual began to talk a lot about that, somebody that I follow on a whole other level, which is Sam Block over at the Digital Ambler blog online. I follow him because I have an interest in geomancy. And in, following him on Facebook and other places, he also venerates and works heavily with Saint Cyprian. And so following his practice inspired me to at least investigate Saint Cyprian on a more personal level. Because, anybody know, I'm not a big saint person. That's not my area. I have a passing, I would say, intermediate elementary knowledge of the saints. And, I'm always up to learn. So I don't confess something I don't know. So during that period of time, I investigated Saint Cyprian, read a lot about his history. And the more I read, the more I was mystified. They still don't know exactly what Cyprian is, the Saint Cyprian. They have about 3 different Cyprians in the Catholic canon. Knowing that he was an African appealed to me even more. Seeing that he was a necromancer, that he was a magus, that he learned in about 7 to 9 different mystery schools, from Chaldea to Antioch to Persia. All those things really fascinated me. And then, like I said before, the fact that he retained his profession even after being Christianized, really spoke to me. So I felt the call to work with him, and I had been doing so in an unofficial sense for, I'd say, 3 to 4 months. Okay. Getting acclimated to his energy, to his voice, his temperament as it relates to me as a devotee. And then after about 3.5 months, I then felt the call to, get a statue and build a shrine to him. And he actually orchestrated every step of that. So, everything on his shrine, everything about how I conduct his shrine was delivered to me directly through him. And that also, what I did get from him, also mirrored and was congruent with what other practitioners have gotten modernly, and also based upon his traditional mysteries. So that was very affirming. That was very confirming. I have him seated. I have the spirit of Saint Cyprian seated on his shrine, did in a very ritualized fashion. I won't go into all of the details, obviously. Some of it is proprietary, some of it is just mysteries he's shared with me. But one big thing that I did, that I find this to be very common when working with saints, particularly if you have a shrine to them and they have your saint statue, is loading, right? Birthing the statue as an actual fetish, a living fetish, a loaded fetish of that saint. So it has the charges, it has the mysteries, it has the secrets of that saint in it. So as you begin to vivify and venerate that shrine and that fetish, it gives you feedback. It has force to it. It's alive. So yeah, I'm familiar with, I know Jason Miller is, I don't know him relatively, personally per se, but I do have at least a casual relationship with Sam Block. I have a casual relationship with Balthazar Conjure. We interact on at least a monthly basis. I want to say weekly. I don't know them that well, but on a monthly basis, we feedback back and forth about different things in the occult and so on. So those I can vouch are very good resources. And I think another thing that really appealed to me about those two occultists and their approach is that it was done very academically. They both, as as I do, have a very didactic way of thinking, very logical, very systematic, very academic. They go into it looking for source material. They go into it like they're writing a college paper. And so I appreciate that integrity of investigation. And it's not just an I feel or I perceive or I intuit, though there's place for that. But, you know, they do give you that, but also in the context of precedent, of tradition. And I take that very, very seriously. You know, a lot of people want a very fly-by-night relationship in spirituality. You know, I feel this way, I think this is the way, so I'm going to go with it. And there's nothing wrong with that, okay? Don't get me wrong. But I think that it's wise, you're getting intuitively, to take what you're getting directly and part and parcel that with the precedent of tradition. Yeah, definitely, good folk. Definitely good folk. About that last point that I made there. Thank you for bringing this up, Danny. Yesterday on Instagram, I saw a post, and I won't belabor y'all with every itemized detail, but evidently this is an individual who practices hoodoo. Again, you know, I can't speak about anybody else's practice, okay? Doc is trying to get his own thing together, all right? Sweep around my own front door. But anyway, practices hoodoo, and they said, I think it's a female, that they had gone to a Tennessee festival on hoodoo. And in the festival, they were talking about ways you can kind of power your spells with like other people's energy. So I think one of the examples they gave was like leaving a petition or something under a rock or under pavement where people are going to walk over it. And in that way kind of give that kinetic charge to it on a regular basis. Very sound advice, right? Like the idea, wouldn't be the first time I've heard that. I've done that before with mastery spells. In mastery spells, one of the old time works is if you want to control someone, you put their name in your shoe and you walk on it. They call it walking somebody down. And as the paper wears out and wears thin, so will that person's resistance to your will or your request also wear out and wear thin. But I like the idea of taking that same concept, making a name packet and putting it, let's say, under some pavement, under a rug, where other people are also going to walk on it. And in that way kind of build a collective kinetic charge. Point taken. Got it. Good idea. But she went so far as to say that she took that advice and even stretched it even further, that it was a good idea to put her workings, her tricks out publicly on Instagram. And that by getting the thumbs up, by getting the comments, by getting the likes, by getting the interest, she was, in some way or another, was funneling that energy, that attention to power the work. And in my opinion, that was a novice concept. And I say that because one of the primary and crucial tenets of conjure is discretion and being inconspicuous, being tricky, being sneaky, some words we use, being covert. All right. The majority of works, when you talk about how do I deploy this, is done in a discreet fashion. All right. So putting workings that are still in process on social media, plashing them from one end of the internet to the other, I don't find that wise. All right. My teachers, my mentors, my spiritual elders always admonished me against that. All right. At least for workings that are still currently going on. And I actually made a post about this some weeks ago in the Hoodoo Bible study. That even when I put up images of stuff, number one, it is never of a working that's currently in process. Normally at least 3 weeks have passed after the objective was reached. Okay. Before I put anything up there. Number two, furthermore, in many cases, even when I do put them up, there's a filter over them, right? Sometimes it's cartoonized or it's got some kind of filter on it. All right. And there are multiple reasons for that. One key reason why you don't put your, I was advised you don't put your work out there is because it will draw jealousy, envy, and fascination. Okay, and if you watch my previous video on psychic disorders, we learned that envy, jealousy, and fascination are the magnets of the evil eye. Of the evil eye. And so you put something up there and it's telling you viewed by 31 people, viewed by, 310 people, viewed by, 3,100 people, viewed by 31,000 people. All of those people are not viewing out of genuine, sincere interest or respect or inspiration of how you practice. All right. They are looking to steal a trick. They are looking to copyright, to plagiarize. They are looking to discredit you. They are looking to be nosy. Okay. And any number of gregarious motivations. Okay. So, I should say egregious motivations rather. So this wasn't good practice. All right. I don't find it good practice. And in a number of other traditions that I have peers in, they don't post active rituals, active workings, at least in ways that expose the spirits, as it were, in a public forum. I know I have peers who are Poleros and Tata Ngangas and Yayis. They don't put their Ngangas online. They don't show certain firmas that they use. I know, peers that are in Condomble, peers who are in Ifa. What's the one I'm thinking about? Not Lukumi. Kiambanda. All right, in Brazil, and a number of other traditions, okay, that don't put certain things, put certain workings, for the general public, okay. Some of them, they've been given strict guidelines on what they can share and what they can't share. Some of them having the eyes of the uninitiated upon a certain work can cancel that work out. It will offend the spirits. You know. Just my thoughts on that. Last minute thoughts before I run to this other appointment. If you're getting spiritual work done from me or any other spiritual worker, spiritualist, don't have, let me rephrase that. Be conscious of the fact, be aware of the fact that if it's a ethical, or I should say a spiritualist with integrity, then they are going to want to, first and foremost, going to be held responsible by their spiritual team, their spiritual court, their spirits, their guides. Okay. That being said, they might not have licentia or license or permission to work any and every case. All right. And you may have a case that may be a legitimate case. Okay. A just case, but the spirits may not give that spiritualist license to put their hand to that work. In other words, as a spiritualist or any other professional, you know, they reserve the right of DOS. All right. Denial of service. Okay. You can go to, you know, a lot of different establishments. They'll say, hey, if you don't have shoes on, we won't serve you. You go to a restaurant. If you don't have a shirt on, you know, denial of service. And they have that right to do so. If you get a consultation from me for spiritual work to be done, I'm going to consult with my spirits of if I have permission, licentia, license, their blessing to put my hand to that particular case. And if they say no, their word is final. There is nothing that you can say, nothing that I can say that is going to rebut, you know, what they've told me. Okay. No amount of money, no, you know, no nothing. All right. If they have said no, I have learned time and time and time again that my spirits don't say no just to be petty. Okay. My spirits don't say no just because they don't like you. My spirits don't say no because they're judgmental. All right. My spirits say no for a very good reason. All right. And a reason in which I've learned over the years to go along with. If the spirits say no, I say no. Okay. Now, does that mean that I cannot help you or assist you in other regard? No. Okay. You know, in some elay and some traditions, you think about the cowrie shells, they do divination. In some traditions, if all the cowrie shells land face down, they will stop the reading, put you out of the temple, cleanse the whole temple. Sometimes they'll shut the whole temple down and say, come back tomorrow. They take this up very seriously. They don't have permission to go any further in the reading. So, if you get a consultation done from me, I'm going to consult my spirits about whether or not I can put my hand to that work. All right. And just because they say no, I cannot remediate that. All right. I don't have their permission to do so. That does not mean that I cannot counsel you. That does not mean that I cannot advise you. What I'll probably do is either give you some self-care, all right, a remedy that you can perform yourself, all right, or the spirits may allow me to build an amulet for you or a bath for you or something like that, something that you can use, but that I cannot take your case and put it on my altar and be an active ritual over that particular case. That also doesn't mean that they've said no to you as a person. Okay, you may ask, for money work, and the spirits may say no. You may ask for love work, and they say yeah. Okay, and furthermore, I'm not obligated to do any further investigation about why they said no. I learned that's futile. Okay, I'm just telling you just from my experience. That's futile. But their word stands. So I just want to put that out there, kind of, I guess, as a disclaimer, and kind of a day in the life of a worker. If you didn't know that, again, all workers don't do that. Some of them, you throw the right amount of dollars at them, they'll do anything. They bully their spirits and whatever. You're gonna do this, you're not gonna do that, whatever. I don't have that kind of relationship with my spirits. We work as partners. My motto is I don't work for anybody. Okay, I don't even work for my clients. Okay, I work for God. All right. I work with my clients. I work with the spirits. I partner with them. But I don't work for anybody on the planet. Okay. I work for God. So that's my employer. That's what I'm ultimately responsible to. So if I have an inclination, my spirit says, no, don't put your hand to this, then, I won't. So that's that. I've got a few more minutes here. Let me know what's relevant to you. What's going on in your neck of the woods? What's happening on your end? Good to see all of you, by the way. And I think we are cresting 300 subscribers. I'm not quite sure. Let me go back and check my metrics. I do this every single time. I remember in the middle of a live to tell you, if you're watching on the replay, please hashtag replay in the comments below. That helps our metrics and definitely helps enhance our algorithm with YouTube. And if you're watching this, of course, subscribe and click the little bell icon down below. I always forget to do that at the beginning. I need to put a little note here. But so what do you guys got going on in your neck of the woods? Let me make sure that I'm seeing everybody. I'm only seeing Danny respond. Oh wow, yeah. So well over 600. So I definitely appreciate that. Don't take that lightly at all. Those of you who won the drawing for the 500 plus giveaway, we're gonna be at 1,000 for you know, and I'm doing another giveaway, and I'm excited for it. I'm excited for it. And those of you who already won that giveaway should have received your prizes by now. I'm getting some feedback. Some of them are just getting there today. So definitely before the week is out, everybody should get your package. Definitely let me know to confirm whether you have or haven't gotten it yet, as I can check on that postage. All outstanding orders with me have been filled. Made a lot of trips to the post office over the weekend and last week, so I am currently current, okay, on all orders. So that feels good as a business man. Great, great, great. Oh boy. um, yeah, so the side note is you guys probably aren't logging right now, it's fine. If you have any questions you want me to answer right quick, definitely drop them. If I have, I'll go as time allows me to go. But in the meantime, to let you guys know, there is a new lesson out on Gumroad under my digital media for working with dirt, all right, in your magical practice, how to charge it, how to activate it, the ritual. We even have a ritual in there. I think it's in that one. Graveyard dirt, where to get dirt from, all that good stuff you want to know about dirt. We actually have the lesson already uploaded. You guys can purchase it on Gumroad. The other point there is if you haven't joined, hey Denise, if you haven't joined the Hoodoo Bible study and you're interested in the biblical use of hoodoo or hoodoo use of the Bible, then definitely join our Facebook group. The link is below in the description box. Be mindful, we add new people in on Mondays, and there is a couple of entry questions. Answer those, and we'll get you in as we can process you. Interesting, you bring that up, Dan. I believe that Balthazar actually has kind of reconstructed in a modern way a folk magic-y style of the Urim and Thummim with the dice. So check him out on that, on his blog, that is. Do you use pentacles? Yes. Yes, I use pentacles. I would wait as far as the friend that passed. Wait a minute. Just take a moment. Wait. Give him some time to acclimate to what it means to be non-corporeal. I always say, give the dead about 3 weeks before you set up a shrine to them, you try to contact them, venerate them. Give them 3 weeks to a month. Give them some time to balance the skills in their own right before you seek to work with them. All right. How can I get a coworker to change position so I can have a shift? So there are 3 things that come to my mind. There is the hot foot method, there is the mastery method, and there is the blessing method. The hot foot method says hot foot them. Right? Make you some hot foot powder, lay it in their path, and actually have a video up about how to do hot foot in a jar. Hot foot them. The other thing you can do is master them. Use licorice, master root, something like that nature, with a purple candle to control and compel them to move. All right. But I like the blessing method. And I often employ the blessing method when you want to hot foot somebody. Find it to be quite effective too. Now, sometimes even more effective. So try this. If you try hot footing somebody and they've not moved in about 3 weeks time or thereabout, try the blessing method. What's the blessing method? The blessing method is you bless them, you pray that God will open up an effectual door for them in a better position. That they will be presented with an opportunity so good they can't pass it up. They have to move. Bless them with better pay. Bless them with better hours. Bless them with better insurance. Bless them with a better retirement plan. Bless them with a better 401k. Bless them with better perks somewhere else. And you will be amazed. You'll be shocked at how fast and effective that moves things. The old folks say, you can get more with sugar than you can with shit. Can you give a class or tutorial on how to incorporate candle magic, my growing passion, and the use of pentacles together, or do you have something already published that I could purchase? I did a quick little talk about pentacles last Thursday in the Hoodoo Bible Study. If you're in that group, then check out my last live in HBS. I talk a little bit about the pentacles, and yes, I will certainly do a full workup on pentacles. I already have that in the pipeline. I don't know if I'm gonna do it as a class or as a lesson or somewhere in between. I'm thinking about it. Well, folks, I've got to get out of here because I got a client in 5 minutes. I need to do my preparations for that, and I may come back on later on, but it's highly unlikely. I'll do that tonight. I'll catch you guys later on in the week. In the meantime, in between time, I'll hold you all in the light of God that never fails. And God bless you all forever.